Greetings, everybody. This is Sabin Dimitrov, aka Dins for the Astrowolf, and it is a pleasure to have you guys here for my next video. So, let's see. This is kind of a fun little story of how my day went. So, and this will kind of show you guys how how much God really takes care of you. So even when you don't even think about it. You know, So I started off the day, in a decent spirit. I get up, I get ready, I get dressed, I pack my lunch, get all my stuff ready for work, put on all my stuff, and I close my door. And then, I get downstairs and, start driving off to work. Completely forgetting that my lunch pail is on the balcony in front of my apartment door, sitting there, waiting for me to freaking grab it. So halfway to work, I realized that I don't, that I can't, go back and get it, or else I would be late. So my mood already starts to wane because, uh, my lunch was gone, and it was, on the balcony, sitting there waiting for me to freaking grab it. So then, freaking, I get to work early, like a couple minutes early, and then it turns out that I lost the bolt to my knee scooter, which keeps my foot off the ground while it heals, because I told you guys I broke my foot. And then what happened after that was I'm like, darn it, and I spent like 6 minutes looking for it and I can't find it. So I'm panicking because the really nice customer that lended me their knee scooter, I was afraid that they were going to be mad at me for losing a piece of the scooter. And like it is, guys, I already suffer chronic anxiety and frustration and anger issues. And so like the day just starts to spiral out of control and my mood just starts to bomb faster than, Satan got tossed out of heaven. It's just like my mood just freaking bombs at like light speed. And what happens then is that I go inside after I jury rig something to kind of keep the handlebars in place so I can somewhat, so that way I can like somewhat, maneuver the scooter so I can keep my foot off the ground. And I get in there and it's already 10:01 in the morning. And I'm already frustrated. So I go ahead and grab the cheapest food I can possibly get because I know that money's tight and I need to wait for my my paycheck to come in later that day. So then I grab myself a frozen dinner and an iced tea, and then I go to the area to to buy it, and suddenly it says, your card has been declined. So I try it again. Your card has been declined. So I sign into my to my bank app, and it's like, zero in your savings account, and a red negative $50.42 in my checking account. And I'm like, holy crap, I have no freaking money. Oh my gosh, what am I going to do? And this is the second time within 6 years, I've been completely zeroed on all my funds. So I feel horrible and, leave the machine, taking that stuff so I can go ahead and put it back. And, the cashier, which is one of the people I work with, was like, hey, what's going on, dude? What's all this over here? I'm like, I don't got money. I have nothing. My card's been declined. And it's like, hey man, don't worry. I got you covered. I'll take care of it. I don't want you starving. I don't want you starving today. And that made me feel a little better. I was like, really, man? You don't have to. And it's like, yeah, man, I got you covered. You don't need to starve today. So that made me feel a little bit better, but also very pathetic because it's just like, yeah, I got no effing money. Everything sucks. The world's gone to heck, and it's just like just like everything. Like I just feel like the lowest of the low because I left my lunch. I have no money. I lost a piece of the knee scooter that a really nice customer loaned me until I heal up. You know, and it's just like I felt horrible, and and like the only good part is that I paid off all my bills on time. But yeah, when you see that negative red 50 on your account, that's scary. It's like, oh yeah, overdraft protection fee $10, and it's just a bad time. So then, so I go upstairs, put the food, in the fridge, and feeling just absolutely pathetic. And I just kind of walk sheepishly by. I was like, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. And he's like, yeah, man, no problem. I don't want you to starve today. So and I appreciated him for doing that for me. And you know, and then so I go, and do my job throughout the day, and a couple really big fluffy dogs come in today, and that made my day feel a little bit better because it's just like, yay, puppies! I get to pet puppies. Dogs are very very special, and it just made me feel better because dogs always make you feel better. They're just sweet, lovable, happy, fluffy puppies that just want snuggles and playtime and just are just boundless balls of energy and fluff. So that made me feel a little better, right? So then I text, the individual that, allowed that, loaned me their cart, sheepishly saying, "Hey, I lost a bolt that keeps the handlebars on the thingy, and I don't know what to do. I'm sorry." And, and I was planning on going to the hardware store, to see if I could, get a bolt that would, fix it. And the guy's like, "Hey, no worries, man. I'll come by in 30 minutes. We can go ahead and see how we can fix this." And the guy is just like a freaking saint, like super freaking nice. And I'm just like, okay, I'm really sorry about that. And he's like, "Hey, it's no problem, man. No worries." And I'm like, thanks, I appreciate it. And like it is, guys. I feel already just ridiculously pathetic. And then a little bit more time comes by, and the guy comes by and it's like, oh yeah, oh that's a small piece, ain't nothing to worry about, I got you covered. And then he goes to the hardware store and and comes back with a bolt, but it just doesn't fit because I think it's a metric size uh bolt. Sometimes manufacturers use metric, sometimes they use imperial, depending on what is needed. And he's like, huh, darn. Should we try to force it? I'm like, I don't think we should force it. We don't want to break it. I'm like, tell you what, take the scooter with you to the hardware store, get yourself a bolt that fits it, and then because I'm going on my break, or it was either a break or lunch. I think it was a break. And I won't be back down for about 15 minutes because I had to to reset a couple of things. I had to do a little bit of paperwork, things like that. And then you have to sign into the system. So that all works out, right? And then he's like, and then he texts me back and says, hey, I left it by Starbucks, so go ahead and grab it. When you come by. I'm like, thanks, man, you're awesome, I really appreciate it. It's like, no worries, buddy, got you covered. And so after my break and after getting signed into the system and stuff, I then get back downstairs. And then time passes, and and like I said, the scooter worked perfectly. And usually I would have to disassemble the scooter, and which is why I lost that bolt piece, because it wouldn't fit in my car, because I'm on light duty, but still I can move around and do stuff and help people. So then what happens is that I'm already starting to feel a bit better now because I have lunch ready for me, waiting upstairs in the fridge. The very nice customer that loaned me the scooter fixed the scooter, and I'm feeling a lot better. I got to pet some more happy dogs that came through, you know, and yeah, people were very nice. And support was like, hey man, hope your foot gets better, keep up the good fight. Another person was like, yeah man, every day I come in here, you're always a great joy to have around. So, thank you for being you, and having nice people say stuff like that. And then time goes on, I go in for my lunch, and then the same person that bought me lunch was like, hey, I have a couple extra sticks of beef jerky. You want them? I'm like, sure, I'll take it. So, for my lunch, I then also had some beef jerky. And the security guard at the location I worked at also gave me a a half used card that she bought for someone else who didn't need the rest of it. She's like, "Hey, you want the rest of this gift card?" I'm like, "Heck yeah, yes, please." And I used that to buy myself a cheap cookie, a cookie that's about to go bad, so they reduce the price. So so then I have my well, not a cookie. I think it's strudels actually. It was a strudel. It's like a little box of strudel bites, and it was like a dollar something, like $1.20. You know, most of the food I buy is extremely cheap or about to go bad. So and that's why I save a lot of money on food. And let me tell you guys, if I ever bought fresh stuff, I would be hundreds of dollars in the pit. So yeah, my style is very frugal. But yeah, so so yeah, I have my frozen dinner, I have my iced tea, I have some little bits of beef jerky, and I have some strudel bites. And already my mood is getting much better, and I'm feeling a lot better. I'm like, thank you God for all that you provided. I feel a lot better, and I feel happier. And then as time goes on, you know um as time goes on, then comes my last break. And I'm in much better spirits because I got to pet another fluffy dog, and it was like this like walking puffball, this adorable little fluff ball that was super cute, and it just made me giggle because it's just like the dog was so happy to see me, and the dog sees me every time the owner comes in, and it's like this like walking this walking puff, and it's super cute. And so then what happens as time goes on is that then my last break comes around, and yeah, I help out with a couple things. I do a couple rounds of the store. Make sure things are going the way they should, and then my last break passes, and then I'm just on my last 45 minutes. And then I have a great conversation with this one fella about just how the world is going crazy, and how he and I gotta keep our wits about us to protect us from going insane. And then yeah, we just start working on with like what's going on. And then as time goes on, then it's like, oh, my shift is done, yay. So then, as I throw all my stuff in the car, I'm like, hey, I have an old grocery bag here. I can use that to, get all this trash and crap out of my car. And I was trying to look for that bolt, but that bolt was long gone. But anyway, I got a giant bag of stuff out of my car, so my car is a lot cleaner and happier. And that allowed me to get that stuff taken care of and done. So then, I try repositioning the to try putting the knee scooter in my car in a different fashion, and apparently that worked, and that means I don't have to disassemble it anymore because I can put it in that way instead. And I'm like, holy butt pickles, how did I not realize this? Now man, you guys, this is only the fourth day of me using the knee scooter and trying to process everything. Like, the reason why I know as much as I do about knee scooters is because my uncle before he passed would use them, and I would help him with his errands and stuff and drive him around, and he would use a knee scooter because he had to have a leg amputated. And yeah, he was great at it. And for me, I know how to use those. I used to use scooters all the time when I was little as a kid. And so, I'm like, wow, that's a good ending. We got that all stuff and taken care of. And then on my drive home, it's a very beautiful day. And, I get home nice and quick. And there's a great parking spot. there's a great parking spot inside, my in front of my apartment, so that way I don't have to walk too far. And then I meet my friend who works for a repair company, and yeah, he's like, hey man, how you doing? I'm like, man, you should have heard the day that I had. And I told him all the stuff that I'm telling you guys. And he's like, man, that sucks, dude. I mean, I'm glad you're doing better now. I'm like, yeah, no kidding, my goodness. Yeah, you guys should have seen how depressed I was this morning. Like, I was like, everything sucks. My life is falling apart. I got no money. Everything's like, have you ever had a day where you just like feel like, where it feels like the entire day has gone to hell? It's pretty much like that. It's like that's how I felt, and I'm, so he and I talked for about 30 to 45 minutes, having fun. And he's like, hey man, you want to try out this new new like hard seltzer? Yeah, and I was like, sure, why not? And I have a couple of them, and we have a great time talking about different topics, shows that we liked, you know, different affiliations that people have, how different characters of these shows are, and it's just fun little things like that. Until you had to go back inside. I'm like, hey man, thank you for the drinks. Do I owe you for anything? It's like, nah, man, you're all good, man. I'm glad that we gotta have time to talk. And then as I went upstairs, I found my lunch pail on the balcony, ready to be used. It's like, hey, you're back. You left me on here all day. So, my lunch pail and everything else, what was there? I had a little bit of trouble because the locking mechanism on my door is kind of messed up, but I finally got myself inside my apartment after about 5 minutes trying to work that little sucker. But yeah, and then I got inside, and everything came around to completion. You know, I got a lunch from my worker friend. The knee scooter got repaired. I got a little bit of extra food. Stuff started to work out. I got to pet a whole bunch of really cute dogs today. One of them was a very cute dog, as well. I forgot exactly what it was called, but it's a very fluffy, cute dog. Very sweet pupper. And yeah, I got to pet a whole bunch of dogs. Got food, and a little gift card from a gift card from the security guard. You know, my lunch pail and everything was accounted for, and yeah, everything came to a full circle, and the day ended very very well. So now I'm home, drinking, having a couple last sips of the seltzer that my friend gave me, and yeah, so the day ended well, and overall, even though the day had a horrible start, the rest of the day went well. My gosh, I feel like I've only been talking for a few minutes. It's already 17 minutes and 40 seconds. Wow. But yeah, so I just, thought that this would be kind of like a fun little story to kind of tell you guys, don't give up hope. The great creator always has a way to make the day end, you know, more positive than the rest. All you have to do is trust. And, keep your eyes open, and the rest will fall into place. And that's how it worked. God provided. So, yeah, like I said, guys, I suffer depressive, kind of waves where I suffered 19 and a half years of depression, and I got over it for the most part. But there's times where kind of things just kind of spiral out of control, and I feel like the world's kind of falling apart. But yeah, so despite the anxiety and kind of depression and things that were just causing me trouble. Um, yeah, everything else just came around about, and yeah, the day ended very well, and I'm just so happy about that because I was concerned about what was going to happen. So yeah, and then another thing that happened while I was talking to my friend outside of his van as we shared a couple cold ones is that I got my reward money from Arc of War, and I was like, hey, you got your this is your money, and they sent me $104.07. And they took into account how much that would be taken out of for the commission fee by the service that we use. and it came exactly to $100.01. So this money is now being transferred to my bank account, so I will be able to get that red 50 off of my account and get all that taken care of. And that means, I have that protection now. And so I'm very, very happy about, about all that working out because, yeah, that means I will have that, that reward money coming in within the next day or so, and my paycheck comes in tonight. So that also makes me very, very happy as well. So that will help me kind of get back into the net positive, and that makes me feel a lot better. And I'm having a very steady work schedule, 10 to 5 every day. That will allow me to have a steady income for at least the next month and a half, and that will keep things working out nice and good. And things are starting to look back up again. You know, like it is, guys. And I sometimes overreact a little bit, but yeah, very, very happy that this day has had a good conclusion. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to eat tonight. I do have a little tub of cooked beans I need to, find a way to eat. So I think I might go ahead and have those, and then have that little yogurt parfait that I purchased a day or two earlier, and yeah, go ahead and have that, and have myself a happy little dinner, and then I'll do my last shift tomorrow, and then have 3 days off. Good Friday, happy Saturday, and Easter Sunday, and then everything else falls into place. So yeah, it's just kind of a weird way that my day went, but it ended well. By the grace of the great Creator. So yeah, so like it is, guys. Even if it feels like your days gone to turds, you know, just remember that the day is not over yet, and there's always an opportunity for something else and better to happen later on. And yeah, so I'm feeling a lot better now. I still have that red 50 on my balance, but that will be disappearing hopefully within a few hours. And yeah, so that makes me feel very, very happy. And yeah. By the way, I'm gonna be doing a story on this bad boy. I purchased him from someone for $15, and yeah, this bad boy I think is going to be Sabin's symbiote companion in Timeline 6, called Godspeed. I like this one because he kind of has a semi-sinister look, but he's going to have a very noble purpose, and that's what I like about him, is that he actually looks really cool, and I love the colors of him, and he has that has the kind of cool, you know, that kind of cool crimson look to him, very Grinion-esque. And I don't usually buy art pieces, but something about this one just really stood out to me. I've always loved moth characters, and yeah, this one just looked really, really cool. And this one, has the snaggle fangs. Snaggle fangs are also a huge thing that I really like about characters. When a character has snaggle fangs, they really stand out to me, which is why all my characters have snaggle fangs. Except, this fluffy dragon. Actually, his feral form has snaggle fangs, but his anthropomorphic form doesn't seem to have those. And then you guys will also, see, this one doesn't have snaggle fangs. This one should, but it doesn't. This one has snaggle fangs. This one has snaggle fangs. This is Plamook. We have this beautiful wolf. And yeah. But yeah, so yeah, this is fun. And I don't know. I think it's supposed to be a leopard or like a jaguar. Some kind of giant kind of cat creature. And yeah, so I just saw that this character was kind of cool, and yeah, so it's fun. I actually showed this character to a couple people at my job, and they're like, "Hey, that guy looks freaking awesome!" And some of them are like, "Dude, the story that you have, working on him sounds pretty epic. I think that'd be a great idea for him." So, yeah, so people complimented this art piece, and yeah, so good stuff. The artist was like trying to get rid of characters for, an emergency fund, and I was like, yeah, screw it, why not help him out a little bit? So, yeah, and yeah, in turn, we got help today. So yeah, I'm just very very happy that today concluded so well. I'm very happy that everything worked out so well, and yeah, I'm just happy that everything concluded well, and yeah, I just we kind of wanted to give you guys a little story of how of what may feel like starting out as a horrible abysmal day turns out to end very very well. Give me a quick second, guys. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. But yeah, so I'm very very happy that everything ended well, and I hope you guys kind of enjoyed this fun little story of one of the days of the everyday life of your derpy wolf friend, Edensfo the Astral Wolf, and this fun little real life story. But yeah, so thank you guys for being here for this kind of interesting and unusual video. I hope that you guys enjoyed some parts of it, and yeah, I look forward to seeing what you guys think about it. This has been Sabin Dimitrov, aka Dinsfo the Astrowolf. Been an absolute pleasure having you guys here for this video and kind of showing off some of the art pieces that I have, for like the different, storylines. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free, free to post those on the video. Like I said, guys, I won't give you guys like any exact information because I want to keep the anonymity of myself, there to protect to protect people around me. But yeah, yeah. So it just makes me happy that we are almost at 500 subscribers, 500 Wolfpack members. And yeah, look at this, guys. We are at 497 Wolfpack members. That is pretty freaking cool. And 462 videos. Not too shabbylicious. And yeah, guys, our videos are starting to grow. The stuff that we are working on is starting to grow as well. And yeah, I'm just very happy with like how well things are looking. So, always remember to like, share, and subscribe, guys, because the more Wolfpack members we can get to join, the stronger and better the channel becomes. And then once we make it to 1,000 Wolfpack members, we can finally start bringing it in the hunt, bringing it in the catch of the day. So that makes me very very happy that we are making progress, and cannot wait to do like a fun little celebratory 500 subscriber video. Not exactly sure what I'm going to do for that 500 subscriber video, but if you guys have any ideas or or input on what we should do for it, you let me know. I'm sure we can figure something out. But yeah, guys, thank you very much for being here for this video. I hope you guys stay awesome, and always remember, God bless.